All right, so who's in my group? Is this everybody?
Yeah.
All right, sweet. So, sorry we're not able to get this out of the back of the truck. Some technical issues this morning. We don't have a forklift. But either way, so as I was telling the other group, I don't know if some people might have heard me say this yesterday, but I'm doing a little bit of research on the soil, physical, chemical, and biological properties, and the impact that cover crops and no-till have on the soil. And so what I've realized over the last 3 years was that continuous cover cropping was not changing my soil all that much, and I think the reason is because we had to till to get more seed in because we didn't have a no-till planter. Mowing was working out but not that well, so finally realized like we've got to get equipment. So I got in touch with this guy on the mainland, this guy named Ted, who works for USDA National Soils Dynamics Research Laboratory. I don't know, it's a really long name, but either way, he's an agricultural engineer and he makes equipment for a living. And Ted very awesomely donated this to us.
Wow.
And if you guys have never seen a roller crimper before, come over and kind of check it out. If you have seen one before, you've probably seen the type that have the big drum with that little chevron kind of shape going on it. So Ted's job is to compare his equipment with equipment that already exists and then improve upon that. And so that's essentially what he did with this. He gets a better cover crop kill with this piece of equipment, having a two-stage, because this front one here is rolling things down, this back one here is spring-loaded. So it's actually doing this on the cover crop in the ground. It's not impacting the soil. Yeah, and what it's doing to the plant is kind of what I did here, just to sort of fake it. But you're basically just breaking it. So you're stopping the water and nutrients from flowing through the plant. So this is how you effectively kill the cover crop. He did find with this one, depending on the cover crop you're growing, you might have to make 1 pass, you might have to make 3 passes. So he had an organic grower that was like, I'm not using herbicide, along with this, I just want to do it organically. So he made him a big one of these where he had rollers on both ends and 3 crimpers in the middle, and that works for him. 1 pass, he's good. So yeah, basically I was looking for no-till equipment, got in touch with Ted, he gave this to us, and then the next part was, okay, so I've roller crimped, but how do I plant into that, unless I'm transplanting? I had no idea. So we ended up finding a no-till drill, which is this piece right here. This guy, Mr. Morrison, made it, and basically this is something that you can use, same situation. Pretty much you hook this up to here, so you swing it around like that. So this is the front, yeah. And you can use them single like this on the back of a BCS, or you can line them up in series and put them on a toolbar, so you don't have to use a BCS and do this really small operation. 1 to 3 acres or something like that, this might work out, but if you're doing 5 to 10, it'd be really tedious to do it with this, I think. So you can scale this stuff up. You can make this bigger, and you can put these in series. And basically how this works is, in the front here is a row cleaner. So this is pulling all of the cover crop trash out of the way. So you've roller crimped it down, right? And then you're driving this through. This pulls the trash out of the way. This is a coulter, so this is just cutting.
This hooks onto the BCS, the Morrison seeder?
Yeah, this hooks onto the BCS. There's also there's actually this Chinese tractor that's a lot cheaper than a BCS, which I'm going to share information on that to people to try to get it out, because I think these are like, I don't even know.
12 grand.
Yeah, 12 grand. They're pretty expensive.
Really?
The Chinese
Not counting the
tractor,
implements.
Yeah. The Chinese tractor is a little under $2,000, but the motor or the engine, I guess, is not
you could change it.
so you got to get a local one. And
Change
so
it.
put the whole thing together.
That's regular.
It's around like
Change the swing, get it from China, change the
$2,500 or
engine.
something like that. Anyway, half the cost of
The beer is.
quarter of the cost. I don't know. So yeah, this is cutting into the soil. This is basically just like making that sort of like cut through whatever residue might still be there. Right here, this is digging the depth where you want your seed to go. So this is actually going down below the ground.
This here.
Yeah, and you can adjust it up or down, so depending on how deep you want the seed. Right here in the back, that's where the seed's coming out. This is the hopper.
There's the funnel thing.
So yeah, so in the hopper, you got fertilizer on one side and seed on the other. Or you could feasibly probably do 2 different seeds if you wanted to. I don't know, I guess you could do it for cover crops and mix at least 2 species or a couple species together. And then you adjust the seeding based on these little things that come with it that have different size. I think you can adjust the pulley, and I think there's something in here that like accepts different size seeds. So you can change your rate per acre. And then the way you get weight on this is you actually ride on the back. So you're standing on each
Oh,
side.
your feet go there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So you're literally just like
you're watching
standing
the
on
whole
your,
stuff going on.
It says to the VCS, so
You gotta feed the
those
feet.
handles are sticking out towards you, so you're driving it and riding it. And same thing with the roller crimper. There's a little bar that hangs off the back, so you're literally just standing on it and just going through the field. It's pretty cool.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then this is closing the row right here. So this is basically just pressing up into the soil.
So, do you have suggestions for how to do this if you don't have the equipment?
I tried for several years.
Really?
And this is what I ended up with. This thing's about $1,000. I think that's gonna be about $2. So it's fairly inexpensive if you don't have equipment. What you could do, or what I was doing, is mowing my cover crop down, which works all right. But some cover crop seed will, or some of the plants will grow back. It just depends on the variety, the season, what's going on.
We've been
moisture.
growing sun hemp, and the fibers are so tough that it just like we have to weed whack it down.
Yeah.
Because we can't use the mower because we have.
So it's super sensitive to day length. So if you're planting it in the winter, you're going to get a much less woody plant. It's going to be a lot smaller. Like, I'm standing up here, but pretend that's the ground. In the winter, you can get it around this tall, and it's going to be soft. And you can always terminate it a little early. Depends on if you're using it for ground cover, if you're fixing nitrogen. If you're trying to fix nitrogen, wait for it to flower. Otherwise, kind of wasting your money if you take it down too early. But yeah, it's a huge difference. In the summertime, I've seen this stuff get like this tall.
Yeah.
It just gets massive. So I try not to plant it in the summer. I don't like that ton of biomass. But now that we have a roller crimper, we'll probably grow it in the summer because you want biomass to come
when
on the
you
soil
roller
surface.
crimp, it smashes it down, and you're breaking it, and it doesn't grow back.
No, because you're pretty much taking it and you're putting so much force on it that it's snapping it at the soil surface. It doesn't work on everything. Like, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I just got this about a month ago, so I want to test it out on other things. But I have a feeling it's probably not going to work on oats. Like, I think oats are going to be difficult to terminate. Maybe it might work, but I'm skeptical. But yeah, things like sun hemp, things that have like a stem that's kind of easy to crack.
Because even when we weed whack the sun hemp, if we leave it in the field, it'll grow up again.
Come back, yeah. Which is why mowing is alright, but I was trying to just mow because I was like, I want to do no-till, but it was not working for me. I still had to till because everything, for the most part, a lot of things were coming back. Some things were. Lab will regrow, oats will regrow at least one time. Sun hemp usually will regrow. It depends on how high you cut it. If you cut it really low, it might not.
Yeah, one of the hard
No,
you don't want to cut it though. You don't want to cut it.
you don't want to
Super low.
Bend
If
it.
you get really low, like if you don't have
Bend it
rocks
over.
and stuff like that.
So what's the
Usually that
difference
would
between
probably
bending and
work.
cutting?
Cutting, it's going to regrow from where you cut it. Bending it, it's just
if
like,
you get good termination that way,
it's like
it hasn't worked.
cutting is like you're reproducing. Bending is just like an old person getting knocked down.
I've had pretty good results only because
Can I
we
get
have so
back
much
up as
grass and
easy?
so much water. The grass grows so thick when I'm mowing, it just makes this giant mat of chopped up grass, which can kind of hurt some things, but it definitely keeps the weeds down for a little while.
You're like basically just mulching, right? But I think that
Is it because it's still attached and you've
Yeah, so-
broken the cycle?
When you knock it over, then the plant has all this other dead stuff on it, and it's like, oh, all this died, and it sucks all the energy to take care of this. You cut it off, it's just like all the vigor is still in here, and it can shoot new sprouts.
we just put this together about a month
Thank you.
ago. But yeah, I don't totally.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with